Right, okay, welcome back, absolute fucking scumbags. How you doing? I've still got a croaky voice. I can't find wooden spoon. My name's Sergeant Fury Toes, and we're having a fucking spaghetti fucking meatball fucking situation. Now, where is wooden spoon gone? Hang on a minute. Fucking unbelievable. Right, I've got wooden spoon. Okay, so basically the situation is, right, there's been loads of shit going on, right? Right, okay. Right, okay, now, welcome back. Right, we've got loads of meat here. I've got one leftover sausage, right? Now, to be honest with you, we might as just whack it in, yeah? Because I can't use a sausage for anything, so I'm just going to squeeze it in my hands and we're just going to remix it and fuck it. Right, obviously this is quite cold and they've been in the fridge, so I'm now starting to realise that that is a bit of a bastard, but fuck it, we'll have it chunky. We'll go chunky, right? Right, okay, so we're going to fry the meatballs. Now, depending on what size meatball each, right, you prefer, right? Now, I was chatting to Mrs. Tracy, and she said she likes meatballs quite small, and I said, well, do you not like them like quite large and almost quite girthy and quite as thick as your wrist and a little bit veiny? And she went, no, she doesn't, but apparently she likes them tiny, so I'm not saying anything. Right, I'm going to get the meat out on the canter of ability. Yeah. So yes, I've got a bit of a cracky voice at the moment. I mean, basically what it is, the voice has caught up with the situation the other day with the black pepper, where literally for an hour constantly, I was literally just, oh fuck's sake, dying on the floor. Alright, that was annoying. Right, yeah, and I was literally just dying on the floor. I better wash this up actually, might as well while I'm here. I was literally just dying on the floor for about an hour. I know Mr. Dennis, apparently he's watching the peppercorn sauce video of ability, obviously. Right, we're going to whack in. Right, first what I want to do a little tester first though. Just going to whack in a bit of a just low grade olive oil, nothing amazing at all. Right, so what's that? Right, I just want to get a bit of this, and I want to do just a little tiny tester. So we're going to flatten it down quite thin, and I just want to fry it off, right, while I can, just to make sure that we have got all the seasonal awareness of abilities in there, right? So, you know, like I said, there's been a lot of things going on. You know, I've been wanting to do a spaghetti meatball for a while. The reason why it's called spaghetti meatballs, yeah, is because the meatballs are going to be almost homogenisational into the spaghetti themselves, right? So it's not going to be, it's going to be completely different to how I would normally do it, right? We've still got to make the sauce. I'm going to wait until that gets up to a hot, because that's pathetic. Hang on. Right, okay, we've got the temperature up to where I want it, so we're just going to take this little taster out. I would just want to, well, it's literally just fell to bits, which is worrying. I hope the balls don't do that. They might do, that's concerning. I did put, I'm pretty sure I put breadcrumbs in this. Now, I know I put a couple of eggs, so right, I'm going to taste this. Right, yeah, that's nice. Right, it can do, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It does need a little bit of salt. So it's going to need salt. I'll leave that there, I can just munch on that in a minute. Right, so I'm going to have to quickly redo this. So Okay, so bear with us, hang on. Right, so I'm going to whack in some salt and some black pepper. Okay, I'm going to put in a little bit more finest herbs as well. That will help a little bit. I think a little bit more onion granules. We can get them out. They're not cooperating, so there we go. Right, yeah. So I've just watched Mr. Dennis crack out an absolutely amazing fucking basically a that's out. I'm out there. I'm out of paprika. Right, I've got some smoked paprika. I'm gonna whack that in. So I've just watched Mr. Dennis crack out an amazing pork Sunday dinner. His potatoes were fucking lush as fuck, mate. I couldn't believe it. And as soon as he goes, oh, I'm gonna put it in the air fryer, I was like, no, don't do it. Don't do air fryer. But no, absolutely come out amazing. And it must be that beef dripping he used. That would have like really. And he's taken them to a real nice place, which I was quite impressed with. So I'll have to just redo this. I really apologise. So let's just crack on and get that in. So I am sure that I put the beef situation, the breadcrumbs in this. I'm very sure I did. So and if I'm just going to do it as is now. I can't fuck about too much because I need to get this done now. Right, okay, that'll do. That'll be fine. Okay, now I know obviously Pelosi's going, oh, you got raw meat next to fucking fresh meat, what are you doing? He's probably literally having a nightmare. And I know that I've just washed my hands, haven't I? Because I've just washed the bowl. So I'll get all this and just munch it in there. And that bit there, that's lush. Right, okay. Right, okay. Right, I've got to do balls. So, I'm not going to do massive balls. I mean, what about that size, Mrs. Tracy? That's not bad, is it? I mean, they're not tiny, but they're not like too ridiculous. So, we're going to get these in. I think that's fine. I think that's the perfect size. I think that's fine. It's got a nice bit of girth on it, yeah, which is what you want. You want a little bit girthy, yeah. A lot of thickness, really hitting them special vital parts. Do you know what I mean? So, there we go. I'm not saying nothing. Okie dokie. Right, yeah. So, anything interesting happened at work today? Not really. That one's a little bit too big. I don't want them starting to. That one's slightly bigger, but fuck it, fine. Okay, okay. So, how have you all been? Basically, have you had a nice day? Have you had an interesting weekend? I mean, I'm on poverty at the moment. Okay, so I am basically skint. I'm not skint. I've got about 20 odd quid in coinage. So I've still got the rest of this week and the weekends. It's that time of the month. Yeah, when you get into like the latter parts of the month, you know, I mean, I've done not bad in making my money stretch, to be honest with you. I've done pretty well. And like, I've done loads of cooking videos as well. So, you know, I'm just getting a lot more efficient at certain things, yeah. One of the things that used to really bugger me up years ago was just being so, was basically being so laissez-faire and letting your bills just roll and roll, yeah, and not really pay like that much attention to them. I would actually like to stress as well, what probably a lot of people are pointing at, is this mixture is not that massively well mixed. Now that's literally on purpose. The reason why I've done that is because I want every meatball to be a little bit different, right? So one meatball's going to have more of that in, another meatball's going to have more of that in, and I think that's better. So there we go. I mean, I want to get all these in and done. Okay, so now, like I said in the last video, part 1 of the spaghetti meatballs, alright, because we still got to do the fucking sauce yet, right? So that one is still like the smallest, isn't it? I'm just doing the size I'm comfortable with, right? Yeah, so like I said, we were getting on to basically the circumstance and the situation of Double Agent 123. Now, like I said, obviously he's back into custody, right? Right, he has been charged, okay, I think with first degree cold-blooded murder of 444 government authorities, let's just say that, the boys in blue, right? He has also been charged with malicious bodily acts that were meant to permanently disable or cripple a person. That's about 1,200 cases, okay? Basically the casualties, yeah? So, you know, where he was held at was a huge authority station, okay, for obvious reasons, but, you know, because they're all a bit rainbow and they didn't know what they were doing, and, you know, they didn't really know what they were dealing with. I mean, I don't blame them. You're talking about, I mean, and it was also, which has been quite handy for the Mitchies, yeah, Mr. Double Agent 123 has not divulged the story of why he's there, yeah. The authorities cannot locate him on their records, obviously. They can't really speak to him, and he can't really speak to them. So, literally, the Mitchies are literally have gotten away with it, right? I did message them on the shitter at work this morning, and we had a Zoom meeting while I was loading out a bit of a fluffy, stinky one. It was pretty grim, I must admit. And I just said to him, I said, well, at the end of the day, you are so lucky that the authorities haven't cottoned on. Because, like I said, they can't really communicate with him. I mean, he looks like a Viking. He looks like something out of like the Vikings. He's massive. He's about 6'8". He's fucking got a massive beard. He's dressed in traditional dress. What do you want me to say? You know, it's that sort of situation, yeah. He's got tremendous abilities and powers, but no, you know, even if you talk about, you know, who's that Icelandic fucking massive giant geezer that was in Game of Thrones? He makes him look like a fanny, yeah. It literally makes him look like a pussy, yeah. So he'd batter him to death with probably his nose hairs, yeah? And then he'd probably just shit down his face. I don't know. Anyway, so I said to the Mitchell, I said, well, at the end of the day, yeah, it's your responsibility, yeah? You need to have safeguards in place, and you need to get him out of there. And they've agreed. And I said, so obviously you need to set up a team of lawyers, things like that. And they've disagreed. And I said, what do you mean you disagree? And they said, well, we're not going down the lawyer front. And I'm like, I don't understand it. He's literally, in about 3 days' time, going to be put on trial, yeah, for obviously, literally, like mass killings. He's going to be put on trial, yeah, and he's going to be literally hung. They've actually made a specific law for bringing back the death penalty, specifically for this case. and he's going to be hung by the weekend. What are you going to do? I said to him, there's no point, you know, there's no good you faffing around. You need to get the lawyers sorted. You need to get in now, right, get him represented and his case heard. And, you know, like I said, they've understood that, they've acknowledged that, yeah. Right, I'm going to need probably a more gentler, I'm going to need to be gentle with this. I can't, I'm going to use spoon and knife just to flip them round, right. So they've said to me, no, basically they've got a better plan, okay? And I said, okay, right, I said to them, I said, well, whatever your plan is, I think you are going to have to admit defeat, and bringing someone back from the Viking age with whatever funky donkey time machine you've got is probably like not really a great idea. I never agreed with that. I said, you know, well, you know, it's all good you agreeing with it, but it's just caused like hundreds of innocent people losing their lives, isn't it? I said, that's your responsibility. My responsibility is to await your Michelin letter. Your responsibility is to make sure that letter gets to me without anyone being fucking slaughtered. At least. They've agreed it. And I said, well, great, to get your lawyers sorted out. Yeah. Right, I'm going to whack a little bit of butter into this, right? I think the butter is going to be quite a key player into this. Not too much, but not a lot. Okay, just going to slice it. Just going to slice it how I mean it, mate. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, and they said, right, well, we've obviously got a different sort of plan up our hands. And I said, well, what are you going to do? I'm now concerned. Right, I'm on the bog at work this morning, cranking out a real doofer, right? Like a real bum chiller, yeah. Almost a toilet block up, but not quite. And I'm going to turn this up a bit now. You can see the abilities going on here now, yeah. You can see these Michelin balls, big balls, not little balls. They're quite thick, like they're not quite thick in my wrist, but you know. So the balls are actually speaking now, look, hear them? So yeah, so I'm like, well, you know, you've got basically, I think the execution date is, I think it's about 12:30, basically lunchtime on this coming Saturday. Apparently they've got a massive open square, and in the middle of like it's almost like a field of dreams, really. It's literally like a field, and they use this open square for like parade practices and things like that. There's no real buildings about or anything. It's just wide open, right? There's a woodland in the background, loads of pine trees and shit like that. You know, normally in the winter it's completely covered in snow and stuff, but because it's the summer it's all like nice and the ground's really nice and firm and things like that. You know, got all the grasses, you know, it's not squidgy or anything. So I said to the Mitchies, I went, well, if you don't get your lawyers active and sorted out quite quickly, Double the Wage at 123 is going to be like beamed off by Saturday. And they said, we know, they are aware. I said, so what are you going to do? They said they've got a plan. Right, they said they've got a cunning plan. And as soon as they said that to me, the word cunning, I just went, where's that smoked paprika on that I had there? Where did I put that smoked paprika? Oh, for God's sake. What? Yeah, you know. Smoked paprika. Oh, there it is. And I said, basically, hang on a minute. So you're not going to like send a team of lawyers to Finland to at least try and defend his case? And they went, no. And I went, oh, why is that? I said, that's a bit strange. Like, surely it's your responsibility. And they said, well, yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, they said that they know that that's never going to work. And I'm like, well, obviously it's not going to work, but you could at least try. And they said, we are going to try. And I was like, well, what are you going to do? Literally. Now, what I'm about to tell you will be probably to some people quite strange and to some people quite shocking. And I'm verging more on the shocking. Now, many videos ago, we had an agent crop up. Was he an agent or was he a courier? I don't know, I can't remember. I'm not too sure if he was an agent. I think he was a courier. And that courier was called Vlad Ryder. Okay? Now we all remember Vlad Ryder, yeah? With his skidoo machine with the spinning blades on the front and just an absolute animal. Sadly died in a failed rescue attempt involving elasticity and a flying overhead army transport plane. It ended disastrously wrong, with him flicking through the entirety of the plane and getting flicked over the plane. That was it, and coming and powering head first into the windows of the cockpit and killing himself and everyone in the plane. It was a huge fireball. And obviously we also remember that his actual skidoo machine kept going with the blades spinning and ploughed into a school playground full of children and mincing one of the dinner ladies and slicing her tits off and killing the pet school hamster in the process. No kids were harmed, luckily. So, now apparently, old Vlad was a bit of a spicy git, yeah? Liked doing a bit of double dipping and double tapping, yeah? He's only got a fucking kid, yeah? The kid has made themselves known to the Mitchies and has turned up and offered his services, and they've taken him up on the offer. So basically, Vlad Ryder II, or Vlad Ryder Jr. is going to attempt to rescue Double Agent 123. Now, I've got a Zoom meeting in literally about 10 minutes that the plans will be relayed to me via the lower to mid-tier echelon Mitchies of how they're going to do it. Alright? I'm not hopeful, obviously. I don't think it's going to be a success, but I might be persuaded completely wrong. I don't fucking know. So there we are. Right, so first thing I want to do, before we do any of that, is I want to transfer these meatballs, okay, onto this plate. Right, now there's a reason for me doing that, because we need to make the sauce, alright? So I've got a lot of juice, right, from these meatballs, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Like, they really are really nice. So I should, if I flip them over and do a little bit of a little cheeky one too, alright? I really apologise to people about my voice. I know I sound a little bit droll, so I do apologise. So we'll do a little bit of a cheeky special. Yeah. Right, they're the meatballs, because I know sheep unit's probably fucking drooling. He's literally, I reckon sheep unit is at the moment got his hand down his underpants, having a little fucking feel about, mate, I reckon. He's probably looking at these meatballs and thinking they are proper balls, and they are, and they're all going to be different as well, because I haven't mixed them up properly. So that's going to be where the beauty in them come. They're all going to be individual. Right, I need to turn this right down there. I don't want to burn the inside of this. So we have got a lot of balls. We've literally got a lot of balls. I mean, I can be a bit ballsy. I know my limits, but I don't get let. If I go outside into the if I go outside the Truman Show, right, I can get a bit ballsy. Right, okay. Right, what I'm going to do, if I pour that over there, will that be too? Just to give a little bit of juice to them. Right, so I want to keep a little bit in now. So I want to keep them nice and juicy. Right, if I just turn that off for a minute. Right, okay, so they're the balls at the moment, alright? At the moment. Right, okay. Now, we've still got the sauce to do. Right, I've just turned that completely off at the moment. Okay, right, I'm gonna have to have a fag break because we've got a lot of things to do now. So after this fag break, okay, we're gonna start to make the sauce, right? So I want all the residual fats and flavours in there. That's gonna be for the sauce. I don't know. This is going to be unlike any other meatball dish I've done. Alright, so because normally I keep the pasta separate from the sauce, I don't normally mix it in, so the sauce will naturally be a lot more redder, like a bit more vibrant, right? So with this going in, this might be almost like a bolognese looking sauce, coated in the pasta, if you know what I mean, right? Right, scratch your bum cheeks, change your fucking fanny nap, have a wee, crack a coffee open, have a barney with your husband or wife, come back and we'll be ready to do the fucking sauce. And then balls, my balls are looking amazing. Chunky, but I've got chunky balls. Fucking hell. Right, okay, welcome back again. Fag break over. Still got croaky voice. Right, fucking hell. Okay. Okay. Right, I'm going to slice this onion up. Now, when I do this, all this is getting blitzed. Alright. So I haven't really got an issue with this at all. It's just literally just get the onion cut. The pan is on a hot heat. Alright, so I'm going to whack that on to about a 5 now. So that's going to fuck up there, like it always does. Right, let's get the onions in. Right, we haven't got a lot of sizzleage. I'm disappointed with that. We should have had loads of sizzle and we haven't. So that's a disappointment. Alright, so with these sort of things, we need to get a little bit of colour on them, and it's now starting to come to life now, which is a little bit late, doesn't matter. Right, garlics, we've got loads of garlics, just going to slice them. Now, like I said, we do want to do some slice of the garlics. We're not doing them thin or anything like that. They are going to be like almost chunked, right? We're going for chunkage of garlic, right? So we want to get colour on the garlic, but like I said, this is all getting blitzed up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So as long as it's been coloured and cooked, like just don't chuck it. You could crush it. You just crush it, you know. It doesn't really matter. Right, okay, wooden spoon time. Right, now Okie dokie, so what we're dealing with, what are we looking at? Alright. At the moment we're looking at onions that are in a plate, in a pan that we've had, has now got the remnants, yeah, of the meatball juices, alright. So we want to keep that high. Just want to give it a little bit of a mix. Just a little bit mitchy, yeah. You want to keep it, you got to get souls and powers into this sort of thing, yeah. This is a dish that's basically for the gods, okay. It's a high aspirational dish, yeah. It's not a low aspirational dish. This is a dish that we've got to take care of it, and at the same time remember that we mean it, right? So we've got literally in this dish a lot of structural integralities, alright? And what do I mean by that? So we've got the structures of the onions to break down. We've got the fats and flavours that are going to come out of them. The sweetness that's to come. Alright? So we're now getting some power into that pan. This is called power in your pan. Alright, okay, it's a technique devised by myself because obviously I'm too amazing as per usual. Alright. I like to stay on the piss front, not mega piss, a bit semi-pissed, like a bit semi-pissed, yeah, but not massively. Right, I've got my lighter, hang on. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this cook out and listen to some silky tunes. While that does that, we're going to talk about Mr. Dennis's roast pork dish, okay? That pork looks absolutely amazing, Dennis, absolutely amazing. The crackling was fucking now. It was fucking now. The roast potatoes, absolutely amazing. I like the introduction of the cabbage, personally. I don't normally do cabbage. Maybe I should do. His gravy, I don't know how he made his gravy. He didn't show us that, which was a bit sad. I'd have liked to have seen the showing of the gravy. That would have been really nice. But that was not to be, right? Yeah, it all looks like absolutely beautiful. Right, I'm going to whack a little dusting of black pepper into this, just for a little bit of avant-garde flavour. A little bit of Mitchell fag in my hand. Like proper sergeant style, yeah. Absolutely amazing. So the onions are now starting to lean up now. So I know a lot of these Mitchy terms that come to you and go through me and then come out to you. Leaning up, what does that mean? It means it's now starting to really release its flavours. Now we're going to turn the heat down a bit. Otherwise we will get an overreaction of the onionage of ability, and it won't become ability. Right, okay, so I'm going to loosen it up with a little bit more oil from the meatballs. All I do is that. Lovely. So there's loads more flavour in that. That is beautiful. That is nice. So we're going to turn the heat back up again, up to a 9. So that's the highest it can go, is a 9. Right. You know, obviously by the situations of today, I know that Mrs. Tracy probably wouldn't like a 9. She'd probably like a 4 or 5 or something like that. But you know, that's fine. 4s and 5s can still do it on the pan, but at a smaller pan. When you're talking about big pans, so when you're talking about big gappage, you need to use big heatage. So that's always a thing to understand and take into consideration. Okay, now I can see this is going to be a tomato sauce. Okay, we've got to do a lot of preparation, which we've done. Okay, and in a minute we're going to have to start thinking about what we're doing. Yeah. So what we're doing is we've got some Serrano plum tomatoes. So this is a brand of tomato picked by myself at the local not so rubbish shop, and we're going to whack it in. Right, the onions are fine, they're going to cook down anyway, and they are going to get blitzed up. They are going to break down because the sauce is going to be cooked for ages. Right, so in goes them. Now when you do this, rinse the pot with a bit of water, alright, and rinse and repeat. Right. Now I'm not going to touch the plum tomatoes themselves. I want it all, now I'm going to turn it up to about 8. I want it all to cook itself out. Right. So this could take into the night. This could well take into the night. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't. Just give me a little whiz round. I'm going to whack in some tomato puree. And I've got another tin of just chopped tomatoes. Now these will be a little bit more watery because they are a cheaper make, or maybe not, I don't know. No, they're alright actually. Alright, I ain't got a water them, they're fine. Right, okay, and we're just gonna literally leave this to cook out now. There's a couple of things we've got to do to it first, right? I'm not solely going to leave this to cook out on its own. I'm going to put in a squirt of tomato ketchup. I know everyone's probably going, you are joking, but I'm not. Quite a nice squirt of that. That's going to add even more sugars into it, alright? I'm going to put in about a capful of chili flakes. So about that much. And then we got some smoked tomato paste, and this is key weapon stuff now. Alright, so I'm going to put in about 1, 2. Alright, no more than that, otherwise it will be too overpowering. I'm going to put in some smoked paprika. Now I'm going to tip in a bit more oil from the meatballs. Okay, nice. Okie dokie. Right, I'll take that in there. I'm going to put in a tiny bit of sea salt. Not too much, be careful with this. Some black pepper, more black pepper. Okay. Then we're just going to mix it round, and then all we're going to do now is literally let this cook out. Now that's it. So you can see that we haven't The reason why we've added a lot of water is to help it cook out. The last thing we want happening is this reducing so much down that it burns to a paste, alright? So that's the sort of heat you want, little tiny blips. So I'm going to put it on about 5, I reckon. And I might actually add a little bit more water actually, because this is going to be going on probably well into the night. So we just want to add the volume up a little bit. So what that water will help to do in the cooking process is cook them individual flavours and oils, not out but into the flavours that are already in there, right? I know it doesn't make any sense, but believe you me, it does. So we'll just leave that. That's got enough fats and oils in there to help it along its way. Right, now the meatballs themselves, right? This is, hopefully they're going to be okay. I'm just feeding them and they are fine. Because what I'm going to do originally, later on, these are going to go and sit in here, alright? Actually, we can do that now, couldn't we? Really, I suppose. I'll let it cook down with the meatballs, because they've got to be cooked anyway, haven't they? So we'll do that. Obviously, I've got to do that, haven't I? So I'm being a bit of a dumbass. Right, so we're going to whack the meatballs into the sauce, and that's going to cook down with the sauce. But what I'm hoping doesn't happen is that I don't want them breaking apart into the sauce, do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to place some in. I'm going to put it down to a lower cook actually. We're just going to place them in. I'm hoping I'll get them all in. And when they cook, because they've still got cooking to do, and I can get them all in, that's good. Okay. Right, I'm going to keep this oil on here, just in case. Right. I'm going to whack it back up to about 5 then, I reckon. Right, I'm going to give it a little shimmy. And let them meatballs sit and where they're going to sit and do their thing. Right, like I said, so we've had our meeting with the agents, right? It went quite well. They've told me about the plan, right? Now, I'm not really allowed to release the details of the plan until tomorrow, okay? And what I've also forgot to do is I said that I'm going to blitz this sauce, didn't I? So now I put the meatballs in, I can't do that. Well, I can, because I'll just take them out, right? So I've slightly fucked up there, because I've got the tomatoes here that I was going to put in now. Right, now I've bollocks that up actually. Right, that's annoying. I'm going to put the tomato. I can't really unrectify that, can I? So, right, I'm going to have to unrectify it, right, because I'm not happy about that. I've disturbed me because I was getting all confused and like you know, like a middle-aged man I am. Right, okay, I'm going to take them out. Right, they're now going to be covered in tomato sauce. I'm going to do the best I can. So I've completely mullered that. Oh, what a shit. It's alright, it's not a problem. I can cope with it, it's fine. It's alright. We have fuck ups on the channel. Yeah. Everyone is allowed to fuck up. So bollocks. I want to keep that side of them up. Shit. Oh, that is actually. I can't just grab them, can I? Right, fuck that. Right. Right, give me. Just fuck that right up. So you can tell in my voice, I am a little bit pissed off. That is annoying. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm taking half the sauce with me. Oh, come on, man. Get it together. Fucking hell, Sergeant. What are you doing? You just completely bollocks the dish up. Such a knob. I really apologise, people. So, I've just completely ruined this. Right, amazing. Yeah, I've just got a step ahead of myself out. Right, I'm just going to do it like this. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. So we've only got to plonk them back in. I'm just going to stab them and lift them up. For fuck's sake. That is bullshit. Oh. It's because I was thinking about Dennis's pork fucking dinner. That pork was amazing. Fucking hell. Right, fuck it. Fine, it's fine. I can handle it. I'm not going to get upset about it. They look a bit of a mess at the moment, but they will do anyway. They're going to get mixed in with the sauce and shit. So, but what I was missing was these fresh tomatoes, right? So that's what I wanted in. So I wanted fresh tomatoes, and I wanted to cook this sauce right down before I added the meatballs in like a donut. So that was quite idiotic, really. I apologise. I'm a bit wankered, so there's nothing else I can do. It's fine. At least the meatballs are going to get a little bit of tomato infusement going on, so that's okay. I'm not that too fussed about it. They're going to get covered in tomato sauce anyway, so who fucking cares, frankly. Right, now, so obviously to all my people and things like that, Melina in Spain and Hampshire, Mrs. Tracy Dennis, all the gang members and squad members and rank members. Right, we're going to have to, I need to leave this, right, literally to cook and break down for quite a long time, okay? So, I think if we're looking at, as soon as I wipe this, it's going to go into a Christine, and it has. So it's gone off anyway. I'm getting a bit distraught now. I'm just getting like mildly middle-aged man confused, like we're having like, and still thinking like I'm like 22 when I'm not, which is bullshit. So actually, to be honest, it's lucky for modern day that you haven't got Sergeant at 22, because I'd have been arrested fucking eons ago. It's like, oh mate, can you imagine like bringing back a teenager from like the 90s to now? How long do you reckon he'd last? How long do you reckon he'd be done for some sort of grim, like ridiculous Facebook bullshit or wank speech or rainbow flag unawareness? I reckon it'd be fucking in about 10 minutes, right? So, okay, so I'm just literally gonna put it on a 5, so let's keep it, I want to keep it tepid. I can't really clean this up because it just looks ridiculous. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do really. I can't really. I mean, the meatballs, I know they're covered in tomato sauce and shit, but I think they are going to be amazing, obviously. It's just not really a lot there's nothing I can do now, so I don't know what to say to people. Tracy's ice creams were looking really nice. Like I said, Dennis cracked up a nice pork Sunday roast dish and all that stuff. Sheep unit had a meltdown the other day. His bean curry looks nice though. Ron obviously is Ron on the chat. There's not a lot I can do about that. He's a top quality loyal fucker. I think that's about it, folks. I can't really say much more. I could pause it and we could go into the night with it. I mean, we could do that maybe. I mean, I've only got to reduce it. If I just reduce it down, then all I've got to do is boil off some water and some spaghetti, whack this back in, or then back in, Once I've blended it. Right, I'll tell you what I'll do. Right, I tell you what I'll do. Have a fag break, pick your nose, make a tea, do a bacon and egg sarnie, and I'll see you in a bit. We'll try and do that. Right, okay, welcome back. Fag break over. Right, so basically I've reduced this down enough that I think when I blitz it, it should be fine. I've just spilled loads of it there. That's annoying. Alright, okay, like I'm well wankered, so I think that's perfectly acceptable. Yeah. So there is, you know, levels of wankerage that is allowed to go on. That's gone in that bit, which is really annoying. Oh, you bastard. Oh, now it's having another Christine. Oh, fucking wanker. Right, okay, so I'm going to move the meatballs of ability, and we are going to be bringing out ridiculously massive bowl. Right? So we're bringing out massive bowl, which is ridiculous, and we're just going to empty all that shit in now. There you go. Okie dokie. I want to put it over there for a minute. I want to keep the heat on. Right, so we're going to just literally... Oh, fuck's sake. Like, oh, it's just so annoying. When I grab stuff out of the kitchen, it's like the rest of the kitchen has to fall apart. You know, it's like, oh no, he wants this little fucking plug, so we've all got to like decide to like fall everywhere. Right, it's bullshit. Right, okay, and that as well. Right, okay, that should be fine. So, okay, so I'm going to unplug that now. Right, so I'm going to whack that back in the pan. That, knocking everything over. Okay, here we go. Right, so I want to whack that back in the pan now. So it's semi-smooth. I mean, it's not like, you know, you could spend there, you could sit there all day doing it if you want, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we've got a nice smooth pasta sauce now. Alright. Now, with the obviously the situation we got with this. Personally, we need to take a few shortcuts, alright? That's blipping way too much. What are you doing? I've just been like fucking volcanoed by my own blip. I've got shit up on the walls and everything. Fuck's sake. Right, okay, so basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to take, I don't have to take a few shortcuts. I could, like, go ridiculous. It's just going everywhere, isn't it? Fuck's sake. What are you doing? Right, hang on a minute, hang on a second. That's obviously way too hot. That's why it's just having a moment. I'm just going to leave it sitting there, right? Right, so what I'm going to decide to do is I'm going to finish off the rest of these. And I know as soon as I say the words, everyone's going to go, no, don't do it. What are you doing? I'm going to finish them off in the microwave. So, they're fine. I mean, they're cooked. I don't want to start fucking about with the sauce. Really, when I put these in here, oh, camera's going to move, of course it is. Right, okay, so I need to move that, so I need to put that back up there. Oh mate, it's making a mess of my entire kitchen, this fucking thing. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's a beautiful rich thick sauce, but it's absolutely making a mess of everything. Fuck's sake. Right, well, just calm down, sauce. Right, I've tried to cool you down. I've turned everything off. Just calm yourself down, fucking hell. Jesus Christ. It's still blipping, look, it's still going for it. Jesus, what is going on? Just like, shut the fuck up. Right, let's move it over there. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, just to sit there. Right, in the meantime, I've got to do, obviously, the spaghetti. Alright? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out a bowl that I deem to be fit enough to do the spaghetti. Now, while that is filling up, yeah, we've got massive news to relay about, obviously, the situation is impending on Double Agent 123. Right. Okay, right, now I need the oven on. That's still mega hot. Right, I need to get this up to a boil now. Right, okay. Once that pings, it's the best job for them. It's fine. I know I should have cooked the meatballs off in the sauce. I'm not doing that at the moment because we've got like massive issues that are going on. I'll just whack that there and that goes there. Looks a bit more fine. Okay. Right, okay. So there's the sauce. Right. They've got a nice, beautiful, rich sauce. Okay, so obviously it's got meat juice in there and everything, so I don't need to really fuck about and add the meatballs, right? What we've got to do is concentrate on the water. So I want a load of salt, which is going to raise the temperature of the water, okay? And then once they've boiled, alright, they're starting to boil, we're going to bring everything together. Okay, once it's boiled and the pasta's almost done, I will shoot this back over the back and we'll concentrate on finishing off the sauce. Right, like I said, I've just been in the meeting with the Mitchies, yeah. They've revealed the plan of how they're going to rescue Double Agent 123, and I will go through in detail that situation after the next fag break. So everyone chill out, pick your nose, crack open a pot noodle. I'll see you in a fucking second. Right, okay, back peasants. Now, obviously we've got the water boiling. I'm going to put in a little bit more textured sea salt, okay? Who knows what it'll do, right? Who fucking knows? Right, a little bit of oil, bit of light olive oil, nothing amazing, really nothing. Okay, now, pasta. We're going to put the whole thing in, 1, 2, 3, and it fucking goes. And it's like a fairy. It's like a airy fairy that's just been splayed out, captured, interrogated, and everyone wants to know, are they real? Yes, they fucking are. So that's the situation. With the sauce, we've got another ingredient we need to put in the sauce to finish it off, okay? This is going to boil down, okay, and do its, and release its textual amazement of abilities of literally starriness of awareness. Okay, I need to find, I need another wooden spoon. I need to get prepared, yeah, because there's going to be a few things that are coming up that can catch me unaware, and I don't want to be that unaware Michelin star awaiting letter chef. Right, okay, now I will say that obviously the plan has been released to me about Double Agent 123 and how they're going to literally save his neck. I don't know how they're going to do it, right? I do know how they're going to do it, actually, I do. But I will relay that information to you, because I know you're all waiting to hear, of how Vlad Wider Jr., I can't believe it, is going to steam in, I'm giving away certain clues, maybe, who knows. And rescue 00 Agent 123. Right, have another fag break, and I'll let this cook down. Once it's cooked, we'll be back. Okay, welcome back, peasants. So let's see how it's going. Right, I need to do camera adjustments. No, I don't. Okay, let's get the situation of the basically the amazingly cooked Michelin star spaghetti out. This is going to be spicy. Here we go. Right, let's take it off. It's not going to fit all in here, I don't think so. I've got massive problems. I've got huge issues. Right, if it just goes in there, that'd be great. Excellent. Right, excellent. We've got a clean retrieval. That is nice. I'm pleased with that. I'm going to swap. I've not got enough room. I'll have to put that there. That's going to go there. Right, okay, I've got a massive bowl of just cold water. I'm going to put immediately the spaghetti in there. Right, so that's basically going to cool that down. This needs to go back on, and this needs to start blipping. Alright. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to move it around. Nice. It's now cold. Okay, so I need to empty it back in here again. It's all going over the floor. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's not a commercial kitchen. We haven't got that luxuriety of that yet, sadly. It's just a home cooker kitchen. Trying to reach for Michelin star in this, yeah. Okay, so we're going to whack it on full whack. I want that back on. Now, like I said, to finish the meatballs off, I did cheat and put them in the microwave. I didn't want, well, we don't want splatterage again. No, we don't want that. That's not fucking allowed. Right, so we've got some basil, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to be careful with the basil, right? And we're just going to tear off the leaves and chuck them in, right? There we go. So we want, I'm not looking at chucking stemage in or anything like that. We just want to be really nice and gentle. I want the whole leaves in there, alright? So I'm not going to be happy if I've got like bits of stem, because we can use that for other things, alright? That's the stem. I'm happy with that. Okay, so we need to put, when we're using leaves, right, like this, yeah. So this is almost like an environmental bit of the channel, yeah, which I'm quite passionate about, okay? You know, I believe in, you know, our sustainability in like North Sea gas and oil, yeah? I believe in, you know, using what we've got around us, yeah, with the pipelines and the gas pipelines and all that stuff, yeah? I'm not a believer, yeah? A ukulele is not going to save the day. Right, it's just not going to do it, right? So I understand the pluses and minuses, but we will have examples as why a lot of them minuses will come to fruition if we carry on the road we're going. So anyway, so we're going to stir that in. So I want it fresh basil. I don't want it to have too much time in just... See what I mean? When you whack that in, that's just not enough. It's not enough for what I want. It really isn't. I've got to go back to that. Yeah, so we're just going to have to put all that in. All the big leaves I want in. No little stems. Like they can be for other things. Like, I've actually already said that, haven't I? So I do really apologise about my voice. It's gone a bit down the pan at the moment, so... There we go. Okay. I want to put a little dripping of olive oil here. It's only just normal olive oil. It's nothing. It's not extra virgin or anything like that. Just normal olive oil. Okay, that's nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. Right, now I'm going to put the spaghetti in. Alright. Now, how I'm going to do the meatballs is we're going to serve it up on one of my favourite dishes, which is this lovely blue and beige dish. Okay, so we're going to serve this up, yeah, like we've got massive love with it. Okay, so before we do that, that's flipping. We're now going to start like shifting things round now. All right. Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. So I just want to mix the spaghetti in first of all with the sauce. That's the first thing I want to do. All right. I don't want it splattering over the edges. This is going to take a little while. All right. So I want people to be patient. I know, like, people get like a bit, you know, impatient with videos that I do, yeah. But all I'm doing is just trying to really take you through the motions, yeah. Trying to take you through the adversary that we go through every day, yeah. The almost, you know, dismissive situations, not between my gang members or squad members and, you know, things like that. But, you know, I know Mr. doesn't contain marzipan moans a little bit, but he's got every right to, yeah. Some of his food is actually quite amazing, yeah. But does he get the recognition that he deserves? I don't think he does. I really don't. So, maybe a slightly bigger pan than that. What's that one? That's just disappeared for some reason. Right, okay. So we're going to do almost like a mini version of what I was going to do. It's not a problem. I'm coping with it on different levels. So, we're going to go for a live blades up, a transfer. Right? So we go for a live transfer. We're just going to splay it out. We want that to be the building blocks of what we want to do. Alright. And now we're going to bring out, oh, that's where that bowl is. It's got holding the meatballs, isn't it? Oh, Jesus. Right, I literally just squeezed the meatballs out there, literally just. Without disturbing the camera, but I have. Have I? I don't know. Right, so I'm going to do it layer by layer. And that is how I'm going to start on the outside. I'm going to build round. And I'm just going to place it up how I see it. So I want to have layers of spaghetti and layers of meatball. I'm going to put one in the middle. Okay, this is how I'm going to do it. I reckon another layer of spaghetti, I reckon. Oh, that's quite a heavy layer. That will be quite brutal actually. So. God, Jesus Christ, that is quite monstrous. That's probably too much because I've completely covered up the meatballs actually, so this might be a problem. No, I'm just going to put them on now. And that's going to be the final meatball situation. I think I've fucked that up actually. I think I have technically bollocked that up. So I'm not happy with that at all. I really ain't. I've just put too much spaghetti on the fucking meatballs on the top there, and literally, I've just over ridiculous them. Yeah, I have. It's just ridiculous. I'm not happy with that at all. I'm going to try to somehow recover from this. Right, I'm not happy with that look at all. Right, okay, now that's a bit better-ish. Okay, I think that's fine. I don't think I need to do anything to that. Right, I want to get some of the sauce transferred from there onto the meatballs. I'm not completely happy with this dish now. I've semi ruined it, right? So I'm gonna try and make it up. If I can get more of the sauce on the pasta, I might save it. I don't even think I'm going to be able to do that actually. No, it's just a mess. No, yeah, I fucked it. Yeah, I've ruined the dish. So I've literally just wasted everyone's time now. So I feel a little bit embarrassed really, yeah. So I'm not overly pleased with that, to be honest. I put far too much on. I'm gonna give it a whiz round. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm going to give a nice clear down. Right, we're going to start putting stuff away. Now there is a debate, yeah, on obviously the tubes of Ubes about cheese and should you have cheese with your spag bowl and all that sort of situation. I was going on the land of not having it. Yeah, I wanted to not have it. But I asked a few people at work and they all said, no, you've got to have at least some cheese. Like, what are you doing, you nutter? So, right, we just have that there and that there, that's fine. Right, okay, so we've kept the little tiny leaves I want to just have on there. And I'm gonna go for a little bit of cheese, right? So I was just gonna go for some cheddar cheese. And then someone at work said to me, no, don't. But I wanted the reason why is because I just wanted it with something else, and that wasn't really to be. So I was a bit sad about that. So I was quite upset. Felt a bit lonely in that pursuit of perfection like that, yeah. So I haven't got a lot of money, right? I'm really skint. So I bought some already grated pomegranate, that one cheese. I know everyone's going, no, it's already done. I know, but I'm really poor, so I've got literally about 20 quid to last us until I get paid, so I'm going to go lightly over it. Let it melt a little bit and then another little second helping, and that's it. Right, I didn't want to go against people or things and anything like that. Yeah, I wanted I wanted to try and stay true to the belief of how we do it. And I'm gonna leave the kitchen as how I found it. We're gonna have the meatballs there, the pasta sauce there. This piece of amazement, I'm going to put a little squidging of olive oil just over it, just to give it a special glaze of Michelin abilities. Right, I'm going to a little bit more Parmigiana. Right, that's the plate up. We're going to go in for some serious missions. And hang on to your bum cheeks. This is going to get saucy. Okay, right. Okay, welcome back, people. Right. Okay, there we go. We're just getting comfortable now. We're just dishing into the light. Okay. So, okay. We're going to get right into it. Right, because it's actually a really succulent dish, and I'm glad I took a lot of that spaghetti off. I was quite appealed as I done that. Okay, so we're just going to ease it round. I want people to really see a lot of crucial, in-depth flavours. See meatballs under there. Right. We'll go through the other meatballs as well, and we'll just go through. Now, one of the most important steps that we've done here tonight, okay, and I don't know what one a lot of people are going to guess was the most important one, but the most important one was actually cooling down that pasta, okay? So that's going to be able to keep its body on everything, all right? And here it is. So we've got a lovely, beautiful pasta sauce in that pasta, so we can use this for other things now. Alright, so there we go, a little bit of that. There we go. So that's that beautiful pasta, and then we got these meatballs. Alright. So, there we go. It's having trouble focusing a little bit. And then we'll break one open. Look at that. That's lovely. That tastes amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right. Okay. Right, so that's my spaghetti and meatballs. I thank you all for joining. I love you all. All take care, yeah, out there. We've got spicy situations going on in the world, and I don't want any of you to be caught up on it, alright? Don't put anything spicy on the F-book, and don't put anything spicy on the X. I'm not so sure about you, the tubes of Ubes. Just be reasonable, you know. Just use your brain, use your noddle. Right, love you all. Take care. And I'll see you all in the fucking next one. In the next one, we'll reveal what's going to be happening with Double Agent 123. See you later. Be good. Be good.